up, you guys? It's Naseem here. Now, after using the Samsung Galaxy S22 for about a week now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind whenever I was using this product on a day-to-day basis was this one simple statement that I feel wraps it up as a whole. And that statement is, I think that the Samsung Galaxy S22 is the best Android that you can get for under $1,000. And I say this because when you think about it, the Galaxy S22 does every single thing that every other flagship phone does for a much cheaper price. It has a top tier flagship camera. It has an amazing software that rarely gets any bugs or issues. It has an amazing display that has great quality, and it has a premium build quality that feels really good in the hands. And I say this because in the smartphone market, it's pretty rare to get a high quality product like this for a cheap price. And that's why I think that this might be one of the best deals in 2022. And yeah, you can say that the screen isn't as bright as the S22 Ultra, or it doesn't come with an S Pen, or even the fact that the size isn't as big. But if I'm being honest, I think that the S22 is perfect for the category that it's in. It's a smaller, compact phone that has enough power to the point where it's still considered a flagship. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be the best phone of 2022. It doesn't have to outdo the S22 Ultra. And it doesn't have to have the crazy expectations that a more expensive phone will have. And that's why I think that the S22 is a low-key great phone. Now, the first thing that I loved about my Galaxy S22 after using it for 1 week was the amazing software experience. And when I say software experience, I mean just how smooth this phone was able to run it. Like, for example, whenever I clicked on an app, refresh pages within an app, and browse through the OS, I never got any hiccups whatsoever. And even though this is a normal thing when it comes to Samsung flagship phones, I still really appreciated it because you guys would be surprised at how many phones do not run their software well. And even when I would do things like multi-screen multitasking, there wasn't one time where I got any bugs or app crashes and was able to use it with no problem. I also really enjoyed the minor customization that came with the phone, like right here. Whenever I select a new wallpaper, I'm able to choose the color palette so that my whole OS matches the color. I also really like the fact that I could choose how I wanted to navigate through my phone. Like, I would either do the classic Android way or the newer swiping way that was pretty cool. And now the last thing that I enjoyed was the fact that I could customize my always on display any way that I wanted to. So if I wanted my display to be more colorful or uniform, I had those options. Now, the next thing that I loved about my Galaxy S22 after 1 week of use was the pretty amazing display. Now, the S22 has a 6.1 inch dynamic AMOLED display that has an LTPO display that ranges from 48 to 120 Hz refresh rate. And if I'm being honest, this is the best display that you'll get at this price range. I also really love the fact that Samsung has made the 120 Hz refresh rate the norm within their devices, because it always looks as smooth as ever. Whenever I'm scrolling through the OS, I get that premium feel, and that goes a long way for me. I also really loved how colorful the display was. Like right here, you can see me scrolling through the OS, and it's really vibrant, it's really sharp, and has a very unique feel that only Samsung can do. I also really loved how responsive the haptics were. Like right here, you can see just how fast it is when I move or press on something, and there were never any times where I got lagging animations. Also, one of my favorite parts of the screen was that it didn't have a curved display like on the S22 Ultra, so there were never any times where I would get those accidental touches. And unlike the S22 Plus and the S22 Ultra's 1750 nit brightness, the S22 only gets around 1500 nits worth of brightness, which isn't that much of a difference. The other two phones were brighter, but I was still able to see whenever I was outside and the sun was shining, so it didn't really bother me that much. Now, the last thing that I loved about the display on the S22 is that it had one of the best viewing experiences that you can get on any phone at this price. The colors were nice, the sharpness was nice, and the size gave me a great viewing. And to show you guys what I mean, here are some examples of me watching videos and playing games.
Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I got a busy day ahead of me. Welcome to my day in the life with the Galaxy S22 Ultra.
Now, the next thing that I loved about my Galaxy S22 after 1 week of use was the pretty great battery. Now, the Galaxy S22 has a 3700 mAh battery that I must say held its own weight, because it was still able to last me for most of the day, which was pretty good for a battery that's under 4000. I will be doing things like scripting videos, checking my emails, scrolling through the news, watching YouTube videos, and even occasionally playing games, which was pretty heavy use for me. And after all that, I will usually get around 3 to 5 hours of on-screen time, and I will usually end my day with about 30% battery left, which was pretty good for me. Now, the only bummer that I would say about the S22's battery is that it does not support 45 watt fast charging like on the S22 Plus and Ultra, but the charging speeds were good, not good enough to kill overnight charging, but they still were pretty good. Now, the next thing that I loved about my Galaxy S22 after using it for 1 week was the very loud speakers. Now, the dual speakers on the Galaxy S22 were some of the best that I had used in a long time. There were a lot of times where I would play my music out loud while I was working out, and it would become a habit just because of how good they were. The bass was powerful, the sound was crystal clear, and the loudness was really high. I also really like that whenever I turned the volume up, the quality didn't deteriorate. And to show you guys what I mean, here's an example of me playing a video with the volume all the way up.
It's not seen here. Now today, I'm going to be giving you guys a very special look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy S22.
Now, the final thing that I loved about my Galaxy S22 after using it for 1 week was the insanely good cameras. And I think that the S22's camera had great quality to the point where I could say I had no complaints when I was taking photos. Like right here, you can see my outside daytime photos, and I would say that these were really good pictures that turned out really well. The skies were very vibrant yet color accurate. The trees and other aspects of nature were sharp. My face looked pretty color accurate, especially when compared to last year's version where it would look light at times, and the overall vibrancy of the outside pictures were pretty great. Now, when we look at the inside daytime photos, I would say that these were also really great. Like right here, you can see that there was no graininess no matter how dark it got, and my selfies were top notch when compared to other smartphones. Next up, when we look at the outside daytime photos, I would say that this is where the S22 performed at its best. Like right here, you can see that the night mode photos didn't give off any graininess, the colors were accurate, and my skin tone didn't make me look much lighter, which made me want to take more selfies. And the last environment that I wanted to cover when it came to pictures on the S22 was the inside nighttime photos. And when we look at them, you can see that there was some graininess, the quality wasn't as great, and it really struggled when there was little to no lighting. But once I turned the lights on, the quality got much better, the sharpness was still great, which really redeemed the camera overall. And when it came to video quality, the S22 was definitely one of the best. And to give you guys an example, here are some 8K videos that I took on it. And there it is, you guys, my review on the Galaxy S22. Now let me know down in the comments, do you guys think that the S22 is the best phone that you can get at this price? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for sticking around, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.